listen, the warm-up is like better than the actual show every goddamn time.
I'm sorry. Look, I don't put out all that well. It's just the foreplay I'm good at.
Well, now all our buttholes are moist, and napalm is bubbling, and
Yes.
I think I made him choke. And,
Yeah, choke on a bitch.
Yeah. And we can get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to every nobody that's here. God, I hope I made this public. Let's see here. Today's show is being brought to us by, I don't know, it's been a long time since I've done any,
The letter B. For Brexit.
It's going to be a sex toy.
Butt plug.
Yeah, oh, we had one of those before. Jimmy Jam Joiner's Jimmy Jump Butt Plugs. The only butt plugs with electrified studs that you can control. You can control the intensity of the electrified studs using your smartphone or tablet.
Apparently
I can't tell
neither.
if you're like being facetious or not.
Apparently neither of you have discovered the pleasures of using a lava lamp instead of a butt plug.
Ooh. Well, see, these butt plugs, they're electrified. It's Jimmy Jam Joiner's Jimmy Jump Butt Plugs, Jiffy Jump Butt Plugs. Put one of these in your butt, and you'll jump in a jiffy. I'm being joined today by well, I was being joined by a semi-regular on the show, Edible Napalm. I'm sure he will be back. In fact, there he is. And special guest today, Justicar.
I dropped because I was like, let me see if the hangout is up, and it is.
It is, and people will begin to trickle in shortly. I almost called you Mr. Justicar, but I didn't want to assume your gender.
I've thought of going to some of those things, just like me, and whenever I start bashing on a transsexual, like, look, I thought I was born a girl, but I learned that I was that I'm not, so I'm transsexual too. Now leave me alone. Bad tranny.
It's I have this joke for it's like on the back burner. It's one that I don't ever expect to use, but I like to have these one-liners like stored and put away, just in case the situation arises where I get to use it. And it's whenever you see, oh Christ, what is it? An overweight crossdresser struggling to go uphill on a hover-round scooter. I know what to say.
Well, if I'm ever out in public and I run across that, I will call you up right away.
I'll tell you right now. Looks like the tranny's going out.
You can apply to any situation where
You ever think they could put a tranny in a porno where they have a guy with
trannies leave the building?
and they have Bruce Venture, a guy with a huge cock fucking her, and then when she screams, he's like, "Oh my God, the tranny's broken." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Have you ever done transsexual porn set in an auto mechanic shop? They make so many.
Yep, he's gone.
I think he was taken to an alternate dimension, or he's on his way there now. And I had that problem about a year ago.
If you got a white man's internet, this wouldn't happen.
It's like he's in the process of quantum leaping. I'm sure Napalm will he'll be around. I wanted to
he'll be there.
He'll be around, yeah. We have some breaking news coming out here. Let's start with this. This one came in just a couple minutes ago while we were talking about dicks and whatever else. Today, the Supreme Court strikes down a Texas abortion law, 5-3, and it was a win for the groups that said it would have closed all but a handful of clinics in the state.
Yes, that happened. I read some of the opinion. Because these procedures place an undue burden, and therefore it's unconstitutional, is what Breyer wrote.
That was Breyer. Okay. Who dissented?
Wait, I thought it was Breyer. Let me pull it up.
I believe you. I was just answering, with the upwards inflection because I wanted to know who wrote the decision myself.
Yep. Justice Breyer wrote it.
Who voted against it?
Oh.
Let me guess. Thomas.
Yeah. So far, so good. Two more guesses.
Let's see.
I might be. I don't know.
Kennedy.
No.
No. I don't know. Who else?
Alito and the Chief Justice.
Oh, Alito. Yeah, and I would have said the Chief Justice had I gotten the second one right.
Roberts.
The other one was the Supreme Court also did something else just now.
Voisin.
Threw out the conviction of former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell in a corruption case, although it leaves open the possibility of a retrial.
Oh, really? They threw that out?
They threw that out just now, or at least CNN's just now reporting it.
Huh.
What do you know about that case? That was your governor.
Yeah, so basically what this is it's pretty bog standard corruption case. Bob McDonnell basically took a bunch of gifts and bribes from people who helped him run for governor for like sweeter state positions and shit, or state contracts, and that got found out.
So, general run-of-the-mill corruption bullshit. All right, well, I don't know. I was hoping
they
there'd be
threw it out.
hookers or something involved in it.
Yeah, it wasn't hookers or anything. It was just money. It was just greed.
Mm.
Yeah, the things the state tried him for, it isn't your run-of-the-mill extortion or corruption case, because he didn't actually give anybody anything. All he did was host an event and spoke nicely about, well, I won't say nicely, but referred him to, let me see here. He arranged a meeting for some people and for them to have a conversation and to work out what they wanted to do.
So he didn't do anything? He just took a plan.
Yeah, he didn't give them anything, unless you want to consider putting in a kind word for someone obtaining some material property. I mean, anybody can do. You can write a letter to the governor and get this. I mean, governors put people in contact with each other all day, and the state was trying to say that his arranging a meeting constitutes an official act. Like, if he had said, "I'll arrange a meeting and you'll win," I would agree.
Yeah.
But he's saying, "Yeah, I'll arrange the meeting and you can go convince them you're right, and I'm out of it." I mean, if I were a governor, I wouldn't do that if someone gave me money. I don't think that's, if that's what corruption is, then okay.
I don't know. Maybe because he's the governor and it was like, it appeared to be an endorsement or some bullshit. I don't know. It doesn't seem too terrible to me.
No, it doesn't.
No. There was some other interesting news that happened over the weekend that I wanted to bring up because this one is hilarious. This happened Thursday morning in Mississippi. Mississippi. A tractor trailer carrying 40,000 pounds of biscuits overturned. And everybody on Twitter, except for like us, went nuts about it. Apparently, the first person to arrive on the scene was Trigglypuff. She described the carnage as awesome and then proceeded to jackknife a truck carrying fried chicken and gravy. None of that is true, but yes, a truck carrying 40,000 pounds of biscuits did overturn. I think they were heading to a Popeyes. You got Popeyes out west?
We do have a couple here, but I think they're only
down south.
Yeah, I think they're only actually on our military bases here. We have a few of those around.
Yeah, we have them out here in the east. They're few and far between, but we have them out here.
I prefer Bojangles, quite frankly.
We used to have one here, and it closed down because nobody liked it. Go figure.
Assholes.
Yeah, well. if we're talking about
They made
fried chicken, it's
some good. They made some good spicy chicken.
Yeah. If we're talking about fried chicken, it ends in. It actually ends in Mississippi.
I forgot since I was upstairs, I can connect to the neighbor's internet, which is more.
Yeah, obviously.
I always forget to do that when I come up here.
You don't be saying. My internet didn't do nothing.
For me, fried chicken ends in Lorman, Mississippi, at a place called Mr. D's.
D's
best fried chicken I've ever had, and it's fried chicken perfection. It's a level that I could never get to on my own.
So, you live in the South?
No, I live in Pennsylvania, but I've been all over the place.
Pennsylvania.
Yep, I can tell you. Obviously, the best place for cheesesteaks is Philadelphia, and I will not eat cheesesteaks anywhere else in the country. Pizza.
Let's be honest, hey, Aldus, like, you're only not in the South because you didn't side with the Confederacy. You're on the same level as Virginia.
No, I'm at a higher latitude. I mean, I am just barely above Maryland, but I mean, I may as well be in the South. I could spit on the Mason-Dixon line from here. But yeah, best place for cheesesteaks is in Philadelphia, obviously. Pizza is
Chicago.
It depends on my mood, because both Chicago and New York have they have the different styles, and it depends on what I'm feeling at the time. I can't decide, and I know that's a bitter rivalry, but I couldn't pick one. It would depend on how I feel.
Yeah, like, can we all just agree that Chicago and New York style are both good?
I mean, I think they should have a war.
I don't go to Chicago. I had to drive across country, and the route I decided to take took me through Chicago, and I made sure as soon as I entered the area, I went to my trunk and put on my bulletproof vest, my raid jacket, and made sure my gun was on the outside.
Well, don't worry, you live in Chicago. You're fine.
Strictest gun law.
I mean, you live in Chicago. You don't live in Chicago.
Yeah, but I had to drive through, and I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, I don't really know what's going on here, but they're always in the news for killing people.
It's like whenever I go through New Jersey. Oh, better lock the doors in this neighborhood.
And when I got into Spokane, I was like, oh shit, I've got to stay in a hotel here in Spokane. This place is always on unsolved mysteries for some wayward traveler who haplessly enters Spokane, never to be seen again.
Oh man, I missed that show, or at least I miss Robert Stack. I guess.
Yeah, I'm Robert Stack. If you have any information on these cases, call us at 1-800-876-5353.
God, you remember the phone number.
I have an exquisite memory.
Oh wow, yeah, I was just real little when that show was on, when Robert Stack was on. But of course, you're older than me, so and I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, I also remember the numbers on every credit card I've had. My first was 4046-4855-327-15019.
And your mother's maiden name?
Well, I do know that, but I'm not telling you.
Last four of your stosh.
Clever way to try to dox me, sir.
This one, this news story happened, let's see, the 25th was Friday, was it not? Sunday was the 26th.
Yes,
this happened Saturday. This happened Saturday. Oh no, this article was posted on Saturday, but what happened on Friday. This happened in Toronto. Black Lives Matter protesters disrupt Toronto LGBT mural unveiling. You hear about that?
There's Black Lives Matter protesters in Canada?
Apparently.
And I didn't hear what they stopped from opening.
An LGBTQ mural unveiling. The mural was meant to celebrate the LGBTQ community and act as an apology for raids that took place in 1981, where 286 men were arrested in 4 Toronto bathhouses.
He was lying.
That's a lot of... Oh, that comes through crystal clear. Just start sending us some fucking smoke signals from it, and we'll get it.
Yeah, maybe I should do that.
Do you ever think maybe if you laid off the drugs, your internet might be able to like shake off the contact high and work properly?
No, I think the internet needs more drugs.
Yeah, probably. Like some nice methamphetamines.
Yeah, give them some of that.
It'll make
I'm
it go
just shocked
faster.
that there's Black Lives Matter protesters in Canada. I can't get past that.
Well, they're going to fight against Ferguson from Canada. It's a strategy no one saw coming.
Shouldn't it be more like Native Lives Matter in Canada, since like Native women and children get murdered at like 100% of the other fucking population groups?
I have not heard that.
Yeah, like they have like a really bad fucking problem with like fucking Native women and children being murdered and raped and shit. It's really bad.
So Canadians are racist against the natives?
Yeah.
Or so goes the story.
Hmm.
I'm like, look, you have a lot of land mass, but not that many people. Spread out a little.
No, they can't. They just hide at the border and they just hang out at the border.
They hide at the border, slipping triple twos to tourists.
Yeah.
It's like cold Australia. Yeah. Like half the country you can't live in because it's so fucking cold there half the year.
Yeah.
Man up, you pussy.
In Canada, like here in the United States, when we talk about south, we talk about going down south. In Canada, down is east. Because there is no south. South is the U.S.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why you have the Newfies, like the Newfoundland people.
Newfoundland. Yeah, here in Washington, or in this, well, on the in the Pacific Northwest, more widely than in Washington, people go. For example, if you live in Tacoma, where Seattle's to the north, you'll leave Tacoma and then go down to Seattle. No, you go up to Seattle. You can't fool me with your little mind games, Jedi.
This is America, damn it. North is up. That's a rule.
Yeah, we won the war.
Did not get any of that.
Bong hit.
I was gonna say, like, the North won the war. They have the right to be called up.
I bet watching porn for you is difficult.
It sounds to me like Napalm is the bong, you know, and as he tries to talk, his words like bubble, so he only gets, you know, blip, 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 like one syllable, like every other syllable comes out. Maybe you should hit the bong more often.
I was like, but the bong comes through without any distortion at all.
Which is so weird. I don't get that at all.
This just proves that Al Gore's internet is drug friendly.
Al Gore's internet 420 friendly. Party and play.
That's why he made it with all those tubes. Oh, shit. Let's see here. What was I doing? I was looking up this Hangout so that I could read the chat. Because I'm actually going to do that today. Can you put a link to where it's being broadcast? Well, it's on your channel, right?
Yes, and I tagged you in a tweet with the link as well.
Oh, okay. That would be handy.
Holy Christ, there's all kinds of...
get like a little salacious crumb, like Master Duck, who will read the comments for you.
Yeah, usually it's Hayes, but I haven't seen him since last week. So
We have 15 people.
yeah.
Read me the comments and pill me a grape.
It's such a weird time of day, and like I only like the real hardcore fans watch this shit live. No, I should say the real hardcore fans watch it after it's been taped, and then comment on it as it goes.
I like that you said. I like that you said we taped this.
Yeah, previously taped.
Might catch a copy of it bootlegged. Might catch a copy of it bootlegged in a blog
Who
post.
shot JR?
Did you just say who shot JR?
Either that or JFK.
Oh, well, that's a mystery. I know who shot JR.
Yeah, that was the big question.
Yeah,
You know, if you hold up your hand and you start on your thumb and you every word being a different finger, who shot JR? Who shot? You know, do that over and over. You can get it down to the middle finger. Who shot JR? Who shot JR? Who shot J? Who shot JR? When you get down to two fingers, you have to start on the middle finger. That's what I learned as a kid.
Can't you do that with, like, anything that isn't 5 syllables?
Yeah, because eventually it's going to alternate on a finger. Even if it had 5 syllables, you could still do it.
I'm too high to do this right now. Like, I can't get my hand to work right.
There goes your sex life.
My
Oh,
hand
come on,
is
like,
so-
please, like, I can go down to the movie theater and be mistaken for, like, a male prostitute. Like, I still got options.
Are you that good looking?
No, not at all. Like, my theory is that guy thought I was probably a homeless man that he could murder and have sex with.
In that order.
Yeah.
No, I'm
That was a really weird, like, almost got stabbed, then got confused for a male prostitute. Just weird.
I'm just picturing Napalm out there on the fucking street corner in the middle of the night in like a halter top and like knee-high fuck me boots, and I'm not sure what bottoms he would wear, like Daisy Dukes.
Assless chaps.
I was thinking Daisy Dukes would be funnier.
Like, I'm just getting all soapy, washing the car.
Wow, this conversation's gotten really gay.
No, that happens from time to time.
And trust me, I know gay when I see it.
Also, especially, like, I'm here, like, I'm the king of the pseudo-gay.
Pseudo.
But
Well, that's what Skeptical
Justicar's
Heretic
special.
called me. Because he's like, I still don't know if you're fucking gay or bi or straight or what. And it's like, mystery.
I wish he'd make videos again.
Yeah, but you know, the kid, like, that takes up a lot of time and shit.
Yeah, I know you have a kid, you don't have 8 minutes a week to spare. Some people just can't handle the pressure of an ever-growing fan base because well, I don't know how large your channel is.
And, like, it could have been bigger, but, like, I never cared enough to, like, really put in the work after 80 channels got fucking deleted, so I was like, fuck it, I'm comfortable being at the level I am.
I still remember the first video I ever saw of Napalm's. It was back when Veritas 48 was being vote botted, and it was just a pink screen, and you hear him going, "Is it gonna be pink? Is it gonna be pink? It's fucking pink! I knew it! I'm gonna do this video anyway, even though it's pink!" And then, like, every other word was fuck, and he was talking about how shitty it is that people would vote bot Veritas, and
I've never watched one of his videos, quite frankly. I've heard his name.
So much.
Yeah, I've heard your name mentioned a couple times, but I've never got around to looking into you.
he gets around. You can see him usually in like a halter top and Daisy Dukes and knee-high fuck me boots.
with some neon fishnet stockings.
Yeah.
Yes. Stacking quarters on my tits.
There was this really cute picture contest going on for it's a website like Being Dad or something like that, and it was all their infants. And the one guy who started it, his newborn child of just a few days, was sleeping in his lap, and he started stacking Cheerios on her nose.
Yes!
It was so cute.
That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, he got up to 5, and then when he put it out, someone else sent one back where he'd managed to stack like 20 Cheerios on his sleeping kid's head. Like, straight up in one column.
Yeah, that's the highest.
I'm like, that has to take some patience. That's fucking awesome. And then they were talking about
things. I'm like, I bet the 20 Cheerio guy cheated. I bet he super glued those fucking Cheerios or something.
just the first one. No, they were talking about their strategy as to how to pick the right Cheerio. It was great.
I have
I
never.
want to pick one that's flat, but also has some ridges so it can connect like a Lego.
Mm-hmm. So what do you do in the what do you two do in the world?
Me?
Yes.
I'm a supervillain. I like rob banks and ransom the moon and shit.
I bumble around in a haze of pot smoke and sadness.
You guys are interesting.
I wouldn't describe it as a haze.
Miasma?
Yeah, that's more like it. Because a haze, I don't know. Miasma makes it seem like it's thicker. Like you actually have to like put some effort into get from one side of it to the other.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like I saw a comic on Twitter that perfectly describes me. It's like a pessimist and optimist, and it's like there's a big guy and he had life on him, and the optimist ran up and like the big guy punched him, but then when the pessimist came up, the pessimist just punched themselves in the face. That's me, basically. Just a horrifically pessimistic person.
Napalm hates everything because he hates himself. And
yeah.
Internalized misogyny.
And that's internalized something else.
Well, like, a lot of that misogyny is probably going to be out in the open, like, in the coming months, like, with Hillary and fucking Ghostbusters popping up. It's like, I don't know which one is going to burn my feminist card first. That shit movie or the fact that Hillary is going to be president. Oh, I'm not happy.
She won't be president if I have anything to say about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Don't get me wrong. I don't like Trump.
Oh no, I've gone on the record in the past saying that.
Well, after like the Brexit vote, I'm kind of like, I was like kind of dancing around it with the idea of like, maybe I should protest and vote Trump. Like, fuck it. But then I was like, oh shit, like, look at what happened with protest votes in the UK. Like, fuck. Maybe that's not the best idea.
Well, you said it best a couple months ago when you were like, Trump isn't the candidate we need, but he's the one we deserve. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, he is an artifact of the sheer incompetence of all the political parties, all two of them.
I mean, the way I see
he is
it,
pretty much the disgusting underbelly of America, just made manifest like a horrible golem or something.
Yeah.
I think it's a contempt vote in large measure for a lot of people.
I see a Trump presidency as destroying the world, destroying the country,
and it's going to be great.
Untold destruction across the globe, and I'm at peace with that.
I will say this: I do think if Trump gets elected, he will probably be impeached or censored or something. He probably will not get full term.
Wait, let me see. He'll be impeached, censured, or something. Yeah, I think that covers it.
Well, I forget the other thing. Like, I know there's censoring, impeachment, and there's a third thing that Congress can do to a president or another member. I always forget the third thing, though, because it has, like, a weird name.
What's it do?
I think it's like in between a censor and an impeachment, where like what censor is basically just Congress being like, you're a shitty fucking person, where impeachment is just they kick you out. I think the other thing is like they take some of the powers away from you because they're like, you're not responsible.
No, well, you can do that under one of the amendments, provided that the president is mentally incompetent to carry out his duties.
To be honest, we're looking at Trump there.
The thing
I will say this though: whoever gets in, this is my prediction for the election. It is going to be a historically low turnout, and whoever gets in will be a one-term president.
No, I don't think it will be a low turnout.
I do. Like, I see a lot of people just being like, I have to vote for either Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump.
And both sides, and people are also going to be thinking, if I don't vote, whoever they like the least, that fucker's going to get in.
Well,
yeah,
this is also the best year for a third party. This is the best election for a third party that has, I don't know, since the 1832 when Jackson was reelected.
Okay, yeah, impeachment's is accusing him of a crime, not kicking him out. Maybe the other thing is kicking him out.
No, they can censure, have a joint resolution which condemns him essentially, or they can impeach him and then try. But other than that, I mean, there's not nothing they can do to him. Yeah. No, neither candidate is good, but Trump. Really, the only issue, or one of the major issues that I have, is the defense of the Second Amendment.
I will say this with Trump and Hillary: it is ironic that both, like after the Orlando shooting, both of them basically said the same thing, where it's like, we have to bomb ISIS, and it's like, this guy never went to ISIS territory though. Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't bomb ISIS. We should fuck those guys, but that's not the actual answer to this problem that happened here.
The answer to that problem is it's a lot of different things. I mean, the FBI had him twice, but there wasn't anything they could do about it because the
fucking guy he bought the guns from called the FBI on him. He was like, "Hey, this guy bought a lot of fucking guns and shit."
But the FBI would have to have stopped him in the commission of a crime.
That's not what happened. He tried to buy body armor, but they didn't have his name. So when they contacted police, all they said it was a guy of very general description. Oh, he was kind of dark-skinned, seemed Middle Eastern, and male. All right, we'll keep our eyes out for a Middle Eastern male wandering, the plains of Florida.
Like a fucking skunk ape. Was in the swamps.
Maybe he was, he could have been that alligator at Disney World.
Oh God, oh that broke my heart when I saw that one.
You know what I saw a video that made me terrified of alligators can climb over chain link fences.
Mm-hmm. I saw that just a little bit ago too. We probably saw the same thing.
Do you know that if an alligator attacks you, and you don't play possum, play python or anaconda. That'll scare them off. Hey, I wonder if that trick you can do to cats will work on alligators. You take a cucumber and set it down behind them, and they turn around and get freaked out and jump.
Oh, I was thinking it was when you take a Q-tip and you moisten it with warm water and.
No, a cucumber.
If you get alligators on their backs and shit, and you keep them there long enough, they could actually pass out from it.
Is that like sharks?
Yeah, because just like sharks and alligators basically have like about the same size brain, so like their little brains can't handle all the extra blood being fucking going to it.
But with a shark, it's because their vision's turned upside down, so they just freeze, and the only thing that'll snap them out of it is rolling back around or the scent of a dead shark. If you want to get rid of sharks, just kill another one, and that'll scare all of them away. That's one thing I've been meaning to do for a while, was going out and dynamiting sharks.
So they're like Chicago gangsters?
There's two problems with that, if I were going to do it. One, I'm one shark shy of having an actual shark. And two, I'm one bit of dynamite shy of having any actual dynamite.
I mean,
but other than that, I'm totally for it.
I figure you You bait the
Wouldn't
line.
that be the solution, though, to stop shark attacks? Is just make everything like swimwear and surfboards and shit just smell like dead sharks?
Well, they make shark repellent out of dead sharks, and I was watching something about this a couple years ago when there was an oceanography research place that was like they were wondering where the hell were all these sharks, and because they were supposed to migrate there during the summer, and
you're talking about the 6 gills?
Maybe
6 gill shark. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, like right around the same time when the sharks should have been migrating there, a bunch of tourists were talking about a killer whale eating another shark, and after that happened, they couldn't find any more sharks. So they were wondering where the hell are all the sharks? Where'd they go? And that's when they found that the scent of a dead shark will scare other sharks away.
You know what else also works? If you put up little signs that say no aggressive sharks allowed, you want to make it a shark-free zone with signage, and that'll stop it.
Yeah, because that worked.
I'm
Orlando.
With the gun shit and all the I'm starting to come to the conclusion that not really a gun problem. It's like something like an American problem. Like there's something's wrong with us. I don't mean that shitty or anything, but it's like other countries have as many, if not more, guns, and they don't deal with all this shit.
No country has even a substantial fraction of ours. And secondly,
well, I mean per capita. I think Sweden and Canada have more guns per capita.
No. The United States has more guns than citizens.
Yeah. I know in Maine, I think the figure is guns outnumber people 6 to 1.
And we are not the country with the highest murder rate in the world. In fact, 100-some-odd countries.
Oh, yeah, Venezuela is.
There are 100-some-odd countries that have a higher murder rate than we do.
I think it's just like an American continent thing. We're all just crazy over here or something.
No, Canada's got us beat. Mexico does not.
Well, Canada's...
They're a bunch of pussies.
Yeah, they are.
Up there being like a nerd.
What?
I'm really fucking high right now.
There are just so many lies from the gun control side about crime statistics.
Yeah.
Makes me want
I'm more at this point, I'm maybe it's just something in our psyche or something. Maybe we just we like violence or something, and we just see that as a good solution to everything. Fuck it, kill the thing. That will fucking make the problem go away.
Well, that's how our country was founded. We killed the Indians, and we killed the British, then we killed ourselves, then we went overseas and killed other people.
You left the Indians out.
No, we killed the Indians first, and then we killed the British, and then we killed the Indians again.
Yeah, and then we killed the buffalo and the wolves.
Yeah.
But no, this is not a uniquely American phenomenon.
We left the shitty deer, though. I fucking hate them.
And I should point out that we don't have much of a murder problem at all. People blow these numbers way out of proportion. What they don't do when they talk about our murder rate is make sure to inform people that the change it's...
Yeah, it's more there's certain areas in our country,
no, that's
Chicago.
That's not what I'm going to say.
Stayed, our murder rate, our gun murder rate at least, I know, has stayed consistent over the past 20 years. It has not gone up, it's going down.
Yeah, it's gone down. You get every now and then you'll get a year that's off, but the trend is down.
Yeah.
But no, our murder rate, it would be I think it's 4.8 or 4.5. But that's 4.5
per 100,000.
Per 100,000. Another way to say that is it's 45 people for every million residents.
Yeah.
So when they talk about this big increase, you're like, yeah, it's a big increase of a millionth of a number.
Yeah.
Shut up. It only appears to be large when you distort the axes by zooming in too close.
I never really looked at the overall murder rate. I was only really focusing on gun murders because a few years ago I was, anti-gun, we gotta do something, and then I started looking at all the numbers and I'm like, wait a minute, this just doesn't add up. This is
Yeah, no,
not.
like you do not remake the world because criminals
I
kill
think
some.
the only
Yeah.
I think the only crime that is going up is like property crime.
I don't know what the statistics are for last year, but I think crime rates were down again from the year over. I haven't looked at it yet. Or
Yeah, like overall crime is down, but I think like vandalism, like petty vandalism, like people going into buildings and stealing like copper wire and shit. But then again, I think that stuff dropped once we got out of the recession.
Yeah, I believe that too. That's always like an act of desperation. Unless you're like me and you do it for fun.
Yeah. Or you're in the Rust Belt and you need meth that day.
Yeah. You ever burn wire?
Oh
You
yeah, like
got to do that at night. It'll punch a hole in the ozone layer, and if you do it during the day, people will notice. Not that I, have any experience, stealing wire and burning it. No, I've never done that. How the hell did we get onto stealing wire?
you two made this shit up.
Because we were talking about murder and crime rates and shit. And I'm surprised we stuck to crime. That's impressive, because normally, we're just one or two sentences away from using women's underwear as currency. I was talking about that a while ago, and we were wondering what the gay population would do.
If probably die of starvation.
Well, I mean, I figure we could set up some sort of conversion rate between men's underwear and women's underwear. But I wouldn't know what that conversion would be.
I don't wear underwear, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, neither do I, but that wouldn't stop me from using it as money. You use money, don't you?
Very rarely.
I think we should replace money with used underwear. And I think that would
I think we
fix
should
the
replace money with punches to the face. Because then nobody would want to be a millionaire, because you'd have to take 1,000,000 punches to the face. Boom.
That is actually not a bad idea. That would get us closer to true anarchy. I'll give you 1,000,000 punches for that, I don't know, clean water.
Yeah, everything would always be like 1 or 2 punches, because somebody would go past the first punch and be like, okay, you can just have it.
I think that would work. I don't know. I've always liked, the whole idea of like a post-apocalyptic dystopian future where, there's no rules, there's no law. I mean, it'd be a harsh living environment, and there wouldn't be like civilization as we know it, but it'd be more fun and it'd be fair.
Yeah, sure. So, Brexit.
Brexit. That's what we were supposed to be talking about in the first place. God damn it. First, I want to congratulate all of my friends in the UK on their newfound independence. I mean, you guys are lucky that you just had to vote for it. Americans had to fight a long and bloody war against an oppressive regime to get our independence. But congratulations to the UK. You guys deserve it. I think it's hysterical that London, I heard talks about London wanting to become a city-state. And
Yeah,
and Scotland wanting another referendum about leaving the UK.
Scotland wants a referendum about leaving the UK over everything. Oh, there's chewing gum on the sidewalk. Leave the UK.
I mean, that's like after a soccer match they do that shit. I mean, can we really trust the Scottish to make decisions, honestly? They gave us kilts and Braveheart.
And bagpipes.
And bagpipes.
You should change the name to Bad Pipes.
Honestly. I don't know. I think I'd rather take nails to the chalkboard than bagpipes.
I'd rather take a dick in the ass than bagpipes.
Well, you'd rather take a dick in the ass than most things.
Look, just because that's true doesn't mean you should say it. It's kind of an asshole move, sir.
Well, I am an asshole, sir, so that's what you get. Welcome to the show.
Woo-hoo!
But no, I don't see Scotland being able to sustain themselves being separated from the crown, honestly.
Oh, they'd want to join the EU and be supported that way.
Oh, yeah, because Merkel's teat is going to taste much different from Her Majesty's.
It's far less regal.
Yeah, well, wait till she becomes the new Führer. Setting up the Fourth Reich. Well, no, that wouldn't be true, because then she'd be like deporting all the Muslims or putting them on trains.
Yeah, Merkel wouldn't do that.
No, she wouldn't do that. She'd put all the whites on trains and deport them to
she'd deport the Germans.
Yeah, to the work camps. I mean, this is fucking white guilt at its
Whitest.
extreme. Yeah, it's white guilt at its whitest. It honestly is. I mean, I fucking even here, it's like, I never owned slaves. You were never a slave. 200 years ago, almost. Like 150. And we're not over that yet? I mean, I'm over the Holocaust already. That was only 70 years ago. But no, the Germans, they feel bad about it. And it's like, I don't know.
They're idiots.
I see it becoming something, I don't know, with the Trump presidency, this could be like the most epic, 4 years ever.
Oh, it'll be a hell of a ride.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll be pushing wheelbarrows full of cash to go buy bread and shit, but...
No, I mean to say that the ride will be terrific. It'll be terrific.
Oh, it'll be exciting, that's for sure. Whether or not anybody has any fun, that's a different story.
It'll be the best. It'll be the best.
We're going to make America great again.
Yeah. Implying that we're not great right now. I don't like that.
Well, we're not.
I don't like that kind of sloganeering.
But we're not. We used to be, but we're not anymore. We're scared of everything. We traded privacy for security, and it took a guy sneaking an SD card out in a Rubik's Cube before people were like, oh, maybe we should not have done that.
Yeah, I think Snowden should have been pardoned.
Yeah. I was talking about that last week. I saw a comment about a year ago that, like, it pissed me off so much, I'm still complaining about it to this day. Somebody compared, I don't remember where this was posted, but somebody compared Anita Sarkeesian to Edward Snowden, saying that Anita Sarkeesian is the Edward Snowden of our generation. And immediately I'm like, Edward Snowden is the Edward Snowden
Exactly.
of our generation, you idiot. To this day, it's been at least a year, if not more.
Yeah, don't try to snowball the Snowden bitch.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. Anita Sarkeesian. I've often wondered what she's good for. I mean, other than being a laugh factory.
Honestly.
Like your stand-up comedy routine, that's pretty good shit. The way you do it with the straight face really sells it.
I can't think of anything good that Anita Sarkeesian is.
I don't know if this is something she's good for, but good at exploiting situations for that. That's not really
You don't say.
good for anybody else, though.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah. Like it. The thundering sound of your silence.
Napalm, we love you. We really do, honest. But goddamn, I mean, he lives in a town with like 12 people. The nearest post office is like, I don't know, a day away by train. I was expecting a rebuttal. I don't know why.
No, I was just thinking about a
Not
Ralph.
for me.
I would give you one.
I was just thinking about an Emerson quote, and it says, "Don't say things. What you are stands over you the while, and thunders so loud to the contrary that I cannot hear you."
Emerson said that?
Yes.
Not Maya Angelou?
Yeah. Word. So why do you why do you always wear a suit?
Because I like to stand out. I mean, you don't, but you know, a lot of people ask me all the time, why do you always do that? I'm like, well, what do you wear in your videos? Just whatever you have on? Do you put any thought into your videos?
I mean, that's getting awfully gussied up for living in your mom's basement. Didn't see that coming.
Yo mama's basement.
You can have her.
Oh, well, I already have.
Who hasn't?
You were supposed to say something else, and then it was going to set me up for like, oh, there was like 30 other guys there, and then...
Yeah, I don't even know my dad's real name. He's just a Visa receipt number. He ends in 5536. Are you Mr. 5536? Did you see that interview years ago Whitney Houston did where she was being asked about her drug abuse, her drug use, and she was asked that supposedly she had spent $70,000 in the previous year on crack or cocaine, and high as a kite, she turns around, she's like, "What? Show me the receipts. I want to see the receipts." I'm like, must be nice to live in Beverly Hills. Your crack dealer gives you receipts.
Honestly.
Goes on a little portable Visa machine.
Yeah, or one of those square things for your tablet.
Yeah, well, they didn't have tablets back then.
Oh, that's probably, yeah, that's true.
I mean, this was back in like 2006 or some shit. I want to see the receipts. All right, I'll ask your drug dealer for his tax returns.
I mean, you know, if you claim it, you know, if you claim the money, you can put down drug lord. I don't think the IRS would care. I mean, I know they don't like it when you do your taxes in crayon. I know they don't like it when you do your taxes in Roman numerals.
Occupation: Pablo Escobar. Aspiring Pablo Escobar.
Bank robber.
El Chapo. Adjacent.
That's the thing. There's no like real exciting like bank robbers anymore. Like just last week, I heard on the news they busted some guy for robbing like a dozen local banks over the last several months. I was like, good for him. He got away with like 12 of them.
Like the guy in Australia who wore...
Yeah. Like in the good old days, like Ned Kelly or
the armor.
There was a case in the Supreme Court a few years ago, and it was on the Women Violence Against Women's Act. And when they're talking about the Commerce Clause of the Constitution, Justice Scalia poses a question about whether or not you could do something with trains, like and train robbers like Jesse James. You know, like the Jesse James gang. This doesn't fall within it, and the Chief Justice says, well, I guess from his perspective, it really was commerce. Chief Justice Rehnquist almost never was funny, and it was hysterical.
I don't think... How would, like, a Jesse James-type train robber be, like, relevant to any case that he would be seeing?
Oh, they were just trying to find out the limits of one of the counsel's arguments, and they brought up the Commerce Clause, providing this is the clause of the Constitution the Congress keeps abusing to give itself more power, and the courts keep going along with it. If something has some indirect effect but is substantial, and there's a close nexus, even if it's not commerce, they'll pretend that it is. And so the Congress now tries to say everything that it wants to pass, or almost everything that it wants to pass, is related to interstate commerce. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. A gun near a school, interstate commerce. The gun had to be bought somewhere. It was manufactured in one state and sold in another. Therefore, it's like, look, you nitwit, shut up. Anyway,
guns. There needs to be a decision. I mean, but it can't be done by like filibustering. I mean, this was like nonsense. What was going on? Fucking. They demanded a vote. They got denied. They filibustered until they got a vote. They lost the vote, and then they like took over the House. And it's like, guys.
Yeah, I loved how people were calling them brave. I'm like, oh yeah, they're so brave, sitting behind their dedicated police force that protects them. You know, unlike the rest of America, there are 4 police officers for every congressman.
Yeah.
Whereas in normal cities, it's one police officer for every 10 to 20,000 residents.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not letting the Republicans off the hook because you know they were too busy calling it all a publicity stunt, forgetting completely that they did the same damn thing in 2008. They went and had their own sit-in.
This woman asked on Twitter, she's like, "What is going on here?" I'm like, "You're seeing grown adults throw themselves on the ground, having a tantrum. That's what you're seeing going on."
That's exactly, and their employees would bring them food.
Yeah, and but I got that response. The Republicans have done this too. Yes, and I call them childish and idiots when they do it.
Yeah, they were. Why is it so hard to believe that both were wrong?
Yeah, I know that. Why is that not a permissible option? That I think they're both wrong. Like there's a third option.
Because you're with us or you're against us. It's like, all the time. All the time. We're such a fucking divided nation nowadays. And I don't know what to do about it.
Civil War.
Finally connected back to the good one.
Yeah, I can tell. You don't have to tell me twice, and you probably can't.
The last time I did a show with Napalm, this shit didn't happen. What changed?
Brexit.
Oh, God.
The whole world order is going to be undone. The sky has fallen. Only bong hits come across on the internet clearly now.
He was paying. He was paying for his internet connection in sterling, wasn't he?
Because of the devaluation of the currency, we're going to correspondingly devalue your bandwidth access. You'll still pay the full amount, but we're just, scaling you back a bit.
It's not worth as much anymore. Yeah.
You've lost some purchasing power parity, pussy.
But hey, this is the best summer to visit England.
Yeah, I saw this one guy on Twitter is a professor of some liberal art, and he's like, "Oh, now's the time to go to England." I'm like, "Do you realize that the pound is still stronger than the dollar? It's just less strong."
Yeah.
He's like, you're not saving any money. Wait until. Anyway, I used to go up to Canada when their dollar was really weak, and I'd do some shopping. But then George Bush happened, and I had to stop that shit.
And everything became stronger than the dollar.
Yes.
I mean, I had this scheme once, because, I didn't know shit about Australian culture, honestly. But
They get a government-issued kangaroo to ride wherever they want.
Yes, and we should have that policy here. But I was asking Australians that I knew how important it was that their partners be good tippers. And I don't even remember what sparked that whole discussion. But apparently, they don't tip in Australia because waitstaff makes like $15 an hour.
Yeah, they don't tip in a lot of places around the world.
Yeah, and the Australian dollar is stronger than the United States dollar. So I had this scheme where, according to Australian tax code, if you make less than, I think it's $6,000 in a fiscal year, you pay no taxes. And their fiscal year runs from July to June. So you go to Australia in June, fucking wait tables for 3 months. I don't know, save up $5,000, buy it. You spend all that money on gold because gold is cheaper in Australia. Bring that back with you to the United States because you don't have to declare gold bullion and then sell it at a premium here. And if you do that every other year, you don't have to pay taxes on it at all.
You probably have to pay taxes on the selling here.
Well,
details.
yeah.
Well, no, you don't, because there's always one unwritten element to every crime. You have to get caught.
That's true.
And only two types of criminals ever get caught. The stupid and the unlucky.
Yeah, that's also true. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that'll buy gold, you know, illegally.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a black market for this shit.
Yeah.
Black gold. Texas tea.
Oh, shit. I think Hazenberg's awake.
Get that faggot on here.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Where's
From
yeah.
depths, 20 stories high.
I think, I think what Napalm is, I think what he's doing here is just a version of performance art.
I think what it is like when you ask somebody for a ride and they drive terribly, so you don't ask them to give you a ride anymore.
I learned this lesson many years ago. If you're asked to do something and you fuck it up royally, you never get asked. Like, I don't have to do laundry. You shrink everybody's clothes. They're like, don't touch my laundry. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean bleach doesn't go on delicates? It's crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing to me. Because the last time I did a show with Napalm, we were fucking talking about weird shaped dildos the entire show.
No beyond.
There's a store in Seattle, a sex shop store called Toys in Babeland, and they have a dildo that is the Virgin Mary.
Or
I'm not kidding. They do. You know, she's sitting there looking all cherubic and angelic, and not cherubic, but angelic, and she's got her hands clasped in prayer, and she has that slightly askew looking up look, and like, I guess that's so you can see as you slide her in.
Right, yeah.
So she can look at you. Please, master, put me in your vagina.
But Napalm was
Holy Communion.
Napalm was in the we were talking about fucking baddragon.com was what it was called, and I gave Hazenberg the wrong link because I'm an idiot, and they were all like I don't know how to describe them. It was like fucking like if dragons were real, the dildos would be like their penises and shit. Like, and they had like these little backstories to them all and all these weird things. And I don't know, if Napalm was here, he could probably tell us more about it.
Or half more about it.
Yeah. Get every other
it would be he would expound too great a length by half.
But it was perfect, and he was sharing his screen and complaining about the damn dildos, and like, oh, they had like muzzles too, like a werewolf mouth you could fuck. They had all kinds of weird shit. It was bizarre. And now he's completely gone, and
gone but not forgotten.
Not by a long shot. Who could forget Napalm? Honestly, I still remember the first video I ever saw of his. I'm trying to find one that I saw a couple of years ago where he was talking about something that pissed him off, and he stabbed the chair, and then he took a candle and he threw a candle at a tree, and then he bit the tree. That's how bad it pissed him off.
Well, that was
If you're going to bite a tree, that would have to piss you off.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hello. What's happening, Justicar? Nice to finally talk to your ass for a second.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't even know you were doing a fucking show, man.
Well, I didn't decide to do it until like late last night, so.
Fair enough. Fuck, man. Well, last night I was working on a video. Today I was working on a video. Took a break, and then fuck, Aldus is doing a show. Fucking Justicar's there. Fuck, so is Napalm. Shit. Pause it.
That's why I'm doing a hangout, because I didn't do a video. So.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
My videos, as everyone knows, are extemporaneous.
Yes, they are.
No, I say it and I upload it. I'm going to start doing some scripted videos in the future, so I can improve my subscriber base.
My problem is I'll come up.
Never scripted a thing.
I'll come up with something I really want to say, and if I don't write it down, I'll forget it. Like the last one I did about Shanny. I wanted to say that Shanny for Christ is what you get when you take a hefty bag full of ground pork, and you beat it for days on end with a King James Bible and a 5th grade education. And I did not write it down. I did not script that video, so I forgot that joke entirely. And I didn't realize it until I was already publishing it, and I was like, ah! Every damn time.
Yeah, I very rarely look anything up or take notes, and that doesn't always work out in my favor because I do forget things, and I mean to say something, then I forget to say it, and I'll finish recording the video and look at it like, oh, I wanted to say this. Well, my rule is, you know, I've shot it, it goes up. No, because what I want to have happen in my videos, the reason that I do them in the format that I do, isn't because I'm lazy. It's well, do you remember when Thunderfoot was debating with Ray Comfort?
Vaguely, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was stammering all the way through, and you know, the way he does. I don't want the picture of me that I portray to be dissimilar to how I would be in a live conversation. It's stuff I just know on the fly that I could give to you at in any conversation, and I can just drop into that kind of debate mode, or you know, that waxing poetic for long periods of time mode on pretty much any subject that I care to discuss, as opposed to doing a very spit and polished, carefully edited, all mistakes removed version, where it paints a completely artificial picture of what you're actually like.
Well, what happens with me is a video typically starts when I'm alone for more than 10 minutes. And I start thinking, well, here's something rude I could say about somebody. And then I try to work around, you know, that. And then, you know, I'll be sitting on the shitter and I'll be like, Shanny for Christ is like a hefty bag full of, or like the one that got flagged down. It was like her pussy lips are like somebody taped 2 uncooked strips of bacon to the underside of a flesh-colored beanbag chair.
What you're saying is you'd still fuck it.
That's what I heard.
I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with bacon. Unless you're a Jew or a Muslim.
Yeah. Well, fuck. My video method is generally, I'll see something. Like the one I'm doing now, it's going to be a response to SJW 101, the message to feminist, anti-feminist, all that shit. I know. Well, I fucking didn't even know the video existed until last night. I seen Girl Writes What's video on it. It's like, I got to check this out. I'm going to go to the channel. It's like, oh, fuck. Well, here we go. So get the clips I'm going to use. Have an idea. Okay, I want to respond to this, want to respond to this, want to respond to this. Get it organized. Throw in my images, whatever the fuck I'm going to use. And then I hit play, rewatch it, and then I just say whatever the fuck comes out of my mouth. That's really it. Very minimal effort.
What Agent of Doubt did about a year ago, he was like, we're going to tag people, how do we fix YouTube, and what happened to YouTube. And, you know, for years I had this policy where if you tag me to do a video, I'm not going to do it.
I do that.
Yeah, and last summer I was like, oh, all right, I'll do it. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And people tag me in the message to feminists, people tag me in the message to anti-feminists, and I'm like, no, not happening. You have no control over the content I publish.
Yeah, I realize that people often do those kind of tag things on issues they care about, but that's their thing, not mine.
Use the other hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would do a tag, but I'd have to be interested in what the tag is, and that's very few and far between. Most of the time,
Also-
I don't even give a shit about the message to feminist thing. I just seen SJW's video, and it was just utter. Well, two of them, they were utter shit. So there I go.
I mean,
One
a
of the-
lot of times I even try to steer clear of topics that everybody's talking about. I try to find something else. Unless it's
Justicar was
something
trying to
major.
say something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, the larger your channel gets, you'll start getting people who will, for whatever reason, like your mind, and then they will try. They'll have some pet issue that they care a great deal about, and they'll get you to. I want you to address this because I want your
That
thoughts.
just happened. I'm still looking. I'm like, this notification's still on my phone. Somebody just commented on something asking me to do a video about something else. And what was the comment? Who's H Bomber Guy? Anybody know?
I've seen that name. No idea who it is.
He did a video recently on, I think it was gun control.
Yeah,
No.
somebody
it was-
just commented about 45 minutes ago. Do some videos on H Bomber Guy, please.
Who was it? Just out of curiosity. Was it a guy named Bowman?
No, he knows better than the
You get that guy who's does he leave messages for you? Please call PZ Mike. Call PZ Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking nut job.
I know. That's why I mentioned that's the only guy that I've ever had on my videos who's just like leaves a comment like, "Please do this. Ask Coughlin about this Israeli thing. Do this." No, I don't care about any of this. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, once every so often he'll spam a whole bunch of my videos with "Call PZ Myers Bowman." Like, why don't you go get some fucking lithium or something?
Well, or hey, I have an idea. If you want to do that, how about you make the fucking video yourself, dude? Not a hard concept. You can pull it off.
It was just a couple months ago I was yelling at him. I'm like, look,
Oh,
I
H Bomber
don't
guy.
care about this topic. Leave me alone. Take your shit up with Coughlin. Leave me out of it. I don't
Yeah,
know if he was right or wrong because I don't fucking care. I don't care enough to look it up.
The last week H Bomber guy put out a video, anti-feminism versus facts, and I watched like part of it, and it was so exceedingly dishonest.
Well, now I gotta look at him. But now I can't do it because he asked me to do it. And I have another rule that says if you have a great idea for a video you want me to do, keep it to yourself. Because if you tell me, I'm not going to do it. I don't like the idea of people being able to sit back and watch one of my videos and be like, that was my idea. I don't like that at all.
I understand that, but if it's a good idea, man, you should run with it in either way. If it's a good idea.
I'll go even if I was planning on doing it in the first place, and somebody comes along and says you should do this video, I'll throw the whole script out.
I get some people. I was talking about tags. Some people ask me a question about a subject, and if it interests me, I might do a video. But I do take requests from my Patreons if they. Assuming it's a subject I know something about. Sometimes it's just a subject I know nothing about. And one of the confusions about me that is out there is that people think that I'm one of those guys who thinks I know everything because of the way I argue on the subjects I address. What they don't realize is there's a selection bias in what I address. If I don't know about a topic, I keep my fucking mouth shut.
Well, see, I'm exactly the opposite. I am always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right.
My grandfather had a saying. He said, "Damn it, I might not always be right, but God damn it, I'm never wrong."
My grandfather had a saying about
your grandma likes it in the ass.
That and something about killing Jews. I don't remember.
Details.
Yeah.
I think he escaped during like Project Paperclip or something.
That would be an awesome name for a project. Operation Paperclip.
Operation Paperclip, that's what it was.
Operation Snapping Pussy, go. She's got the snapping pussy.
Operation Paperclip Catheter.
Oh god. Yeah, so, but for my Patreons, I take requests. And, so anyway, there's this one guy who's, like, really hung up on global warming. And he'll ask me questions about it all the time, and I never do videos on it. And I always say I don't know anything about it. And he checks back periodically, I guess on the assumption that his mentioning it to me every now and then is going to suddenly make me take an interest in the subject. I'm just going to go devote substantial parts of my life to learning about a subject that just not within my my wheelhouse. I mean, I'm very knowledgeable on a limited few subjects, and those are the ones that I address.
Well, what happens with me is when I see somebody being wrong, I will research enough of the topic to be able to be like, you're wrong, and here's why. But we have two very different approaches.
Yeah, I love it when people send me a video of someone who supposedly destroyed me, and the guy's like, this Justicar's a loser, he's stupid, he's got no facts, he's got no logic, he's not very smart, and they're like, there, you got wrecked, Justy. I'm like, I know. All those arguments that weren't interspersed with the insults clearly showed me how wrong I am. And then because I incorporate insults into my arguments, so they'll dismiss my argument because there's an insult, and they'll say, like, that's an ad hominem. I'm like, no, you're confused. I addressed the argument on its merits, and then as a bit of garnish, I also threw in a free, I might add, no charge, no extra charge. Then I threw in an insult on top of it. So if I were like tutoring someone in math and I'm teaching them how to count, and I say, look, 2 plus 2 is 4, then I explain why, and then I add, you fucking retard. My argument about why 2 and 2 is 4 isn't undermined by the fact that I'm also an asshole.
Right. That's how I've always looked at it. Ad homs are okay as long as they're not your only argument.
Yeah. Oh, I've had that before, too. People have told me that, well, you need to chill out on the language or not use so many ad hominem attacks because these people won't pay attention to you. So well,
they're not the target anyway.
Well, right, yeah. It's like they're not going to, if they're going to fucking focus on the fact, they're going to ignore where I pointed out what they said was wrong and focus on the fact that I call them a dumb motherfucker. They're going to ignore the point that I made regardless. It doesn't matter.
I used to have Christians telling me, you should quit smoking. So my response every time would be to roll up tobacco in pages from the Bible and smoke them on camera.
No, I would just be like, well, you know where I'm going. There's going to be lots of smoke. I'm just getting used to it.
I always make sure to go from the New Testament and get some of that red ink.
It's called acclamation.
All right. well, so I got to... Oh, go on, man.
What? No, you go ahead.
Oh, all right. Well, I was just going to ask you a question. It has really nothing to do with what we were talking about, but I've always wondered this.
Yes, I swallow for straight guys.
Oh. Oh, well, that was question 2. Thanks for preemptively answering. But I got to ask this one, because you were one of the first people that I noticed, like in the Atheism Plus days, it was calling that shit out. And I was wondering when you noticed it, because I started noticing like that whole social justice Atheism Plus trend, like right at Free Thought Blogs with Richard Carrier. And I didn't really see too many people talking about it. I found out about your channel, and by that time, you already had like multitudes of videos about how ridiculous it was. So I was just wondering, like, when you started to kind of notice like that shit kicking in.
I noticed it during Elevator Gate. Look, I've been an atheist for forever and a day, months and days.
Yeah, same here.
But okay, in the 90s, when I was a cop, and well, that was even into the 2000s. Anyway, when I was a cop and people I worked with found out that I was an atheist, one of the questions that I would get asked often is, what's it like being an atheist? And I thought, what a stupid question. So I'd always answer it by saying, well, the meetings are great. we show up, old business, no God. All right, new business, still no God. Let's drink. It's very easy to do. But then assholes actually started having these fucking meetings, so I couldn't tell that joke anymore. Because I didn't want people to think that I was like those people. If there were some smart people there, but just the ones who nod in agreement with whatever the famous speaker of the day says. So I lost that joke. Can't use it anymore, and I'm angry about it.
One of the weirdest conversations in that vein that I've ever had was somebody was like, "What's an atheist?" It's like, I wasn't rude or anything. I was like, I don't believe in God. And she was like, at all? I was like, no, not at all.
Just a little.
I was like, you've never heard of atheists. Like, you've never heard of people who did not believe in God. That it was so strange. And that these people are still, like, in the world. That still think that everybody has at least some belief in God.
Yeah, before I get on that, I'll finish out the story. And so I kind of kept my distance from it because I saw straight away and knew at the outset, ab initio, once this shit started, that it would never end well because it's trying to rally around a proposition that is no more profound than saying, that other group over there, we ain't that. That is not something around which a community can long flourish. Because after years of talking about how much you don't believe what other people believe, you start to realize you have nothing else in common.
Yeah.
And on the point about Christians, sometimes I'll hear that, Christianity is must be true, or probably true, because it's the one that's most believed in the world. And I love to point out to these people that Christianity is indeed the most followed religion in the world, but 5/7 of the world has out of hand rejected it. No religion has greater penetration throughout the world than Christianity, and the Bible, no book has been more read or bought, at least, than the Bible. And even with 2,000 years of putting people to the sword and missions and missionaries and conquest and all the other shit, the best they can do is get an overwhelming majority of the population of the world to out of hand reject it. There's a biologist named Louis Wolpert who was in a debate, and he was talking about an anthropologist named I can't remember the name now. Pascal Boyer, that's the name. And he was at a proceeding in Cambridge or Oxford talking about this little tribe in Africa that he discovered who believed that there were witches that flew above the treetops, and that's what made the gardens grow. I can't remember the details. Right. And Louis Wolpert says, but his inner cowardice came out when he didn't mention to them about odd religions that the people in those areas have heard of Christianity and think it's a little bit absurd to learn that they're all condemned to die because their ancestors ate a piece of fruit. And he says, so don't think that your silly little beliefs are unique, and don't think that other people haven't heard about your beliefs. They have, and they've rejected it for their own particular special myth that's equally absurd. But yeah, I love the way of describing that you're condemned to death because your ancestors ate some fruit.
The creator god of the I guess the Mesopotamian religions was a serpent, and so when Moses penned Genesis, the first thing he did was demonize the creator god of the previous religion, because that's what you do when you invent a new religion. You're like, oh, the last god was bad. That was the very first thing he did, and that today's religion is tomorrow's mythology. That's all there is to it. And I also believe it's wrong to invent a new religion after the invention of the television. So, Scientologists, they're fucking insane for doing that. You can't invent a new religion after the invention of the television.
Well, they made some money at it, so I think they accomplished their goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like a bunch of fucking kooks.
Oh, well, yeah, Scientology, that's just nuts. I mean, I'm sure you've probably read up on some of the shit that they've done.
Yeah, I tried not to read too much about them. Like David Miscavige.
Oh.
My favorite is actually the Seventh-day Adventists. Do you remember the Simpsons episode with the leader? The leader is good. The leader is great. We surrender our will as of this date. That's how the rest of it goes. Remember that one? And how they fed him the low protein gruel. Those are your Seventh-day Adventists.
I don't watch The Simpsons. Never have.
Well, a cult leader comes into town and feeds everybody gruel to lower their will, and that's what the Seventh-day Adventists do. They're strictly vegetarian. John Harvey Kellogg, inventor of cornflakes,
which he thought would stop people from masturbating.
Yes, and he was a Seventh-day Adventist, and he was a psychologist, I believe, and
not a very good one.
Well, the trick was.
But he could make cereal.
He made them for the mental patients so that they would stop masturbating. The idea being that bland food makes you less horny. Same thing with Dr. Graham, who was a follower of Dr. Kellogg, who invented graham crackers. And it's all because
cleverly named.
Yeah.
I heard Heaven's Gate had excellent Kool-Aid.
It was a brand. It was a mixture to die for.
You'll never drink Kool-Aid the same again.
Have you watched all of their going away videos?
Oh God, years ago.
That shit is creepy.
Oh, that whole thing was fucking creepy. I mean, most religions cults are, but that was. Ugh.
Have you listened to the audio of the killings at Jonestown?
No.
No, I can't say I have either. You should. It's very creepy that he's we just gotten tired, Lord. We're laying our lives down, Lord, because we're just so tired. You know, people are just dying all around him from cyanide or whatever it was.
Fuck.
And then when it came to it, he couldn't even drink the cyanide. So he had one of his guards shoot him. I'm like, why didn't you shoot him beforehand, you asshole?
It's like I guess it was the first episode of Family Guy with the
Don't watch that either.
In the cult leader. It's like, haven't you guys ever been in a cult before?
Don't you know how this shit works? There are rules.
Damn it.
So, Hazenberg, what do you do in the world?
What, like work-wise and all that shit?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, landscaping currently.
I used to date a landscaper, and we were over at a friend's house, and he walked through their garden, and I'm like, Sean, don't do that. He goes, no, it's okay. I'm a landscaper. They teach us special skills. We have permission. No, I'm like a garden gnome. It's totally allowable.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, I'm fertilizing the garden. That's what I'm doing.
Special landscaping walking skills.
Yeah. I haven't learned that.
What's your lubricant of choice when you're greasing a gnome?
I like Millennium ID.
You answered that so quickly, and I don't even have a joke prepared for anything you could have possibly said.
That's the lube I prefer because it doesn't burn my asshole.
Oh well. I just wanted to say grease a gnome.
Don't blame you.
And how long have you been a landscaper?
Well, probably last 2-3 years. Before that, I worked in a meat department.
You go from gay to gayer.
Yeah, pretty much.
I worked with meat, and now I want to decorate.
Yeah. I kill plants now. Beforehand, I was a meat cutter. If you want to be a dick about it, I would always consider myself. There was a fucking euphemism I would use for it. Oh, an animal byproduct assistant. Is what I would always say. Yeah, it was boring. I didn't care.
When I was in the Army, I always felt kind of bad for the NCO who had to supervise pee tests because they have to watch you pee in the bottle. So every time we had one, I'd sit there singing while I'm peeing. This is to the Wheel of Fortune theme song. I'm a pee watcher. I'm like, all right, Sergeant, how did you get promoted to be the meat gazer? Whose desk do you have to work under for such a prestigious job?
No, luckily for me, whatever I've done, well, those 2 jobs anyway, never had any piss test.
Go figure. Do you enjoy landscaping?
Yeah. I like being outside. I like being outside and shit when it's nice anyway. I hate the fucking winter.
Does it pay okay?
I get by. Know the dude who runs it. Kind of, my schedule's off and on, so I get somewhat of days off every now and again. But I'm scraping by. But I have time, so that's
supplement your income with blowjobs if you're,
Well, I wish. I wish it did. Yeah, those fantasies you're having about landscaping, not real. Unless I was into like really old ladies, which
Yeah, the glamour you think that is there, it's that's mostly just propaganda. That's PR.
Yeah.
You know, and look, let me tell you, you don't find a diamond in the rough. You find a cat shit, dog shit, slugs. That's what you find in the rough.
Yeah.
In the
snakes, spiders, all that.
Oh God.
Yeah. What are you oh-godding for? The snakes or the spiders?
Spiders.
Oh, I'm in the same boat, man. Like, I hate fucking spiders. Another guy I work with fucking hates snakes. Found a snake under a fucking piece of concrete one day. He went running like a bitch. It was hilarious. Then about a week later, there was a giant-ass spider, and I went running like a bitch.
Let me tell you about my best encounter with a snake, which simultaneously is my best display of...
Okay, by snake, what are you talking about? I gotta ask you, dude. I gotta ask.
Yeah, and it's my best display of marksmanship in my life. I was working
somebody's dick.
Yes.
Like
I was working on my dad's property, and I was using a Shindawa. You know the buzzsaw, Hazenberg Shindawa weed whacker takes down.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a saw blade instead of string. Well, I nicked this garden snake, and I didn't want it to suffer. I'm like 12 at the time. And my brother's looking at it, and he's like, well, what are you going to do? And I said, this. And I hopped back and pulled out I had a Haskell 45 on my hip at 12. I hopped back, pulled it out, and fired one shot, clean through the neck, decapitated it. I'm like, fuck yeah! Completely lucky shot. Completely lucky. No skill involved in that at all. And later on, my brother would, years later, he said, you know, that pistol of yours is just a piece of shit. And I said, really? Run.
So was that the moment you became one of those crazy freedom-loving gun nuts?
No, I've been shooting ever since I can remember. No, my dad would hold my hands while I would shoot a little 38 at like 3 or 4. I've been shooting all of my life.
All right, awesome. All right, and I was just joking there on the gun nut thing.
Yeah. No,
I hope you know this.
Yeah, it doesn't.
All right.
Don't hurt my feelings. I'm extremely sensitive.
Yeah, I'm trying not to trigger you or make you have to go to a safe space.
God forbid.
I know. That's the world we live in now.
Make this a safe space, and like we'll do them private from now on, so the audience can't like comment, and I wouldn't be reading them anyway. But you know, if I was reading them and they were like mean or something, then you know, a private hangout we wouldn't have those anymore. The entire internet should be safe. I'm tired and I'm rambling and I have to shit. I think we're gonna wrap it up here in a little bit, guys.
Well, you haven't been on that long. What the fuck, man?
I've been on since like 10:30.
I was gonna say one of the safest places I know of is the death chamber. I mean, it's not always safe for one person, but it's safe for everybody else.
That is true. But Justicar, we have a tradition on this show. At the end of the show, the special guest, has to guess what's in my box.
Do I get to see the box size?
Well,
before?
the way it works is that I imagine a box.
You don't even have a real box.
There's something inside the box. I don't know what it is. Hayes knows what it is.
No, I don't. I didn't even know you were doing a show. Napalm was. I'm assuming Napalm was taking over as guest host.
You got to put something in my box.
No, I don't.
And the size of the box, you know, it's as big as it needs to be to fit whatever Hayes puts in it. Because,
Hayes, why do you have something? Why do you have something against
a mile before it tears an inch?
Why are you against putting something in a box?
I don't know. Yeah, it's homo. I'm a some phobia, some ist. Throw it out there. One of those. I don't know.
What is in the box is a refillable ink cartridge for a pen.
A refillable ink cartridge for a pen. Is that right, Hayes?
Oh my God! It is absolutely 100% correct.
He's right. Congratulations.
Yeah, what's his reward?
We're gonna send you 25,000 Aldus Valor fund dollars.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
I was waiting for the little thing to come down like on Full Us with Penn and Teller. Then some snooty British guy with a bad sense of humor comes out and makes a really awkward joke.
Maybe next season.
No. We're a bit strapped on the budget this season.
What
Damn
budget?
Brexit! Everything went to hell.
Brexit ruined everything.
Hey, Hazenberg, after he
Yeah.
goes away, if you want to talk for a few minutes, we can do that.
Yeah, that'll work. I got some time.
Do you have
So-
Skype?
Yeah. That I do.
Give me your info in the link, the thing over here.
Oh, all right.
Give me old digits, baby.
Oh, I shall, sweetie.
Oh, when I used to
While
go out to
you guys are hitting on each other, we also have another tradition. What did we learn on the show today?
that gnomes are best lubed with Millennium ID. It will make your asshole not burn.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
True fact.
All right.
Hayes, what did you learn on the show today?
You're canceling early because you got to take a shit?
That's correct. And
By the way, after you put a gnome up your ass, your lubed up asshole, for a couple days, it'll be very easy to take a shit.
well, you see, I'm glad I didn't do that because I drank a pot and a half of coffee today, and that's probably part of the reason why I'm having this problem right now.
When I used to go out to the gay bars in Seattle and some unattractive person would ask me for my number, I'd always give them the number to the State Patrol. I'm like, 536-6210. That's the direct line to dispatch.
Well, what I learned on the show today was that Justicar Justicar does his videos without pants on.
I'm surprised it took you this long to learn that.
Well,
Why do you think I bounce around so much while I'm talking? So my dick will flop. Like, this is fun. Whee, doggy. What you guys can't do, what you guys can't see is that all the time I'm doing my videos, I'm also playing airplane.
helicopter.
I tie a helicopter. I tie a little tassel to it. And I'm just going at it the whole time. That's why you see me moving so much. And I'm like, okay, now it's time for a figure 8 shape. Woo, doggy.
That's why I don't go on camera anymore. Sometimes I might wear a burqa. Sometimes I might wear nothing at all.
Have you ever been on camera?
Yeah, my old channels I have.
Oh.
This one haven't. Yeah, I don't really own a good enough camera at this point in the room I'd record in. The lighting would be utter shit. So,
I have never.
and this is easier for me.
Look, follow my pathway to success. I have never let any such trivial concerns as lighting, camera, competence stand in the way of my making videos.
Oh, competence never stood in my way.
And yeah, well, one down.
Yeah. Well, and most of the rest of it is just fairly pure laziness. Because if I record something and ramble, which I used to do, then it could be fun and all that stuff. But now it's like, oh, I can just take breaks, film part of one. Well, I'm not even filming a fucking thing. I'm throwing clips together. And then just do it in my own pace. So ultimately, it's all revolves around pure laziness for me.
All right, are you guys punishing me for having to poop?
No.
Good night, everybody.